Hey everyone, Grant K for the Flame Learning channel. Over the next few videos, we're going to look at Maya from a flame artist's point of view, as well as prepare a 3D model for importing into Flame. By having a consolidated and optimized 3D model will improve performance, as well as make your life a lot easier when dealing with the nodes in the Action Schematic. If you would like to follow along, please click the link in the YouTube description to download the media. Alternatively, if you're watching the podcast version of this video, then type the displayed link in your favorite web browser. Now, to set the context for all these videos, let's say you've been given some 3D geometry or you've downloaded it from a website and you would like to incorporate it into your composite. So in a fresh Action node, go to the Action node bin and double-click on the Import node. We'll be using the FBX 3D interchange format. The default settings are typically fine for most cases, but I'd like you to enable AutoFit in Scene to scale the 3D geometry to the composite. So Flame will either scale up or scale down the 3D model to fit into the 3D environment. Navigate to the downloaded media and load the Robot Battles FBX 3D model. This imported FBX dataset does contain an animated camera and some lights. So go to the Object menu and switch the result camera to Camera 2. As for the shading, go to the Node Preferences menu and under the Rendering tab, set Shading to Active. Since this model does have its own lighting, disable Scene Ambient in the 3D composite. I have mentioned this in a previous Action video, but if you want to scale down or remove the axis objects in the viewport, switch to the Preferences tab and adjust the axis scale. 0% will make them completely disappear. Scrubbing the time bar, you can see the context of the imported geometry. There is a 3D toy robot with textures and animation, as well as a tracking camera move to round off the 3D scene. Let's look at how this is represented in the Action Schematic. Panning the entire view, you can see that every 3D component from the original 3D scene has been exposed within Action. There are lots of geometry nodes, as well as lots of nodes with random names. There also doesn't appear to be any structure to help understand the construction of the 3D geometry in a cohesive way. This is all down to how the 3D geometry was prepared in the 3D application. Action creates its own representation of what's imported from the FBX file. Now, if you just have Flame, you are more than capable of cleaning up the schematic. For example, you could press Alt-T to tidy the Action Schematic. You could take this further by renaming, grouping, and restructuring the nodes. But if you have a 3D application to hand, an alternative approach is to prepare the 3D geometry before creating the FBX for Flame. So in the next video, we'll jump into Maya 2017 and I'll give you my take on how to use Maya from a flame artist's perspective. Comments, feedback and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. Thank you for watching and please subscribe to the Flame Learning channel for future videos.